Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Epic Gamer Josh here, and today, for the first time ever, I will be doing a Premier League predictions video. Now, over the last couple of weeks, the Premier League has been fantastic to watch. I mean, Brentford, congratulations to them for being unbeaten in the league so far. Obviously, they're doing what I think they're going to do what Sheffield United did a couple of seasons ago, where they're going to storm up the table. Not win the Premier League, obviously, because it's, Brentford, and it's just a team that's been promoted from the Championship and playing the Premier League for the first time in their history. But yeah, let's get cracking on with the predictions. So first up, we have Man City versus Arsenal. Now, Man City versus Arsenal, that is always an entertaining match. Always has been entertaining. It's up there with the likes of Man U versus Liverpool, the Manchester derby, the Merseyside derby, Chelsea and Liverpool, Chelsea and Man U, etc., etc. That is a very interesting match to predict, actually, because both Man City and Arsenal, they've been opposites in the way they've taken charge during the first 2 weeks of the Premier League. Arsenal, no wins, no goals, no points. And Man City have stormed up with maximum points and a massive 5-0 win against Norwich last week. So, with the two different starts in the Premier League, I mean, Arsenal have started really poorly this season. It is not like them. They have broken, they're going for a record break career. And I think that based upon what I've seen the last couple of weeks, the way Arsenal have been playing football, I think Man City are going to pick up all 3 points, go for a win. And I'm going to predict a 4-0 win for Man City. I might be wrong, but then again, it's just a prediction, and 4-0 to Man City, and Arsenal are going to end up rock bottom of the Premier League, which you probably never have seen, or you'll probably never see in your lifetime again. But I mean, yeah, it's just the way Arsenal have started, which is making me predict a 4-0 win for Man City. Now moving on to Newcastle versus Southampton, which is the next match. Now, I'm not hoping for anything spectacular here for Newcastle versus Southampton, because both of them are teams that they've had their moments in the Premier League, but they're just not special. They just don't play attractive football, and they always forever finish in like near the relegation places, or they end up in some sort of relegation battle. And based upon Southampton's solid draw with Man U last week, I mean, anything could happen. And after Newcastle were beaten 2-0 by Aston Villa last week, they'll be looking forward to bouncing. They'll be looking to bounce back. So I'm going to predict a 2-1 win for Newcastle. Moving on to the next match, Brighton versus Everton. I mean, Brighton have started positively in the Prem. 2 wins out, 2 on par with the likes of Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea and West Ham. Everton's new manager, Rafa Benitez, he's going to be looking at marking his authority on the Premier League this season and taking Everton to, no doubt, probably their biggest finish, highest finish, so to say, in years. Obviously, Everton, 1 draw, 1 win, pretty standard these early days in the Prem. They're on 4 points with the likes of like Man U and Brentford. But I mean, they're facing Brighton, and Brighton, they've had 2 wins from 2, so I'm going to say both teams are evenly matched, more or less, and I'm just going to go with a solid 1-1 draw. Moving on to the next match, West Ham versus Crystal Palace. What a season West Ham are having so far. Obviously, they are top of the Premier League going into week 3 on 6 points. I mean, probably the best ever start for West Ham in a Premier League season. They do go into week 3 following on from a 4-1 demolishing job of Leicester. Last week they beat Leicester 4-1 at the London Stadium. Now, Crystal Palace on the other hand, they've had a tough first summer. They've had to draft in former Arsenal player Patrick Vieira, which I think in a way is going to be a mistake, but I don't know. It might take some time for Vieira to work his magic. Crystal Palace have had no wins, just the 1 draw and the 1 loss. And I mean, I just don't see Crystal Palace winning. No. I'd say West Ham are going to win 3-0 in that match. Moving on to Norwich City and Leicester City. Leicester, since winning the Premier League back in the 2015-2016 season, they have had fantastic seasons in the Premier League. They've always finished like in the top 5, whatever, top 6. But I mean, looking at the table so far, I mean, Leicester are 12th. They've just got the 1 win and the 1 loss, so it could go anywhere. Really, between Leicester and let me go back onto the matches. Between Leicester and Norwich. Norwich, they've just been promoted to the Premier League as champions of the Championship, so based upon their history, every time they win the Championship, they come up to the Premier League, and then they're the first ones to get relegated. So, after Leicester's heavy loss to West Ham last week, I'm thinking maybe Leicester are going to bounce back and they're going to beat Norwich. So, I'm going to say 2-0 to Leicester. Next up, we have Aston Villa versus Brentford. I mean, Brentford, an outstanding start in the Premier League. Unbeaten, like I said just a bit ago. And they're looking to extend that unbeaten run against Aston Villa. But after that overhead kick last week by Danny Ings, was it? I think so. I can't remember, but I did see it and I did do a YouTube short on it. But that overhead kick last week from Aston Villa was just outstanding, and they beat Southampton 2-0, and maybe this is going to be a tough match for Brentford. But I have a feeling that Brentford are just going to steal the win, so I'm going to say a 1-0 win to Brentford. Next up we have, wow, I mean, what a match. Liverpool versus Chelsea. That always is a fantastic match to watch. Liverpool, last season they kind of lost their grip a bit on the Premier League due obviously being injury hit. But with fans back in the stadiums now and Anfield being packed full, it looks like it's going to be a really interesting match. And with Chelsea, obviously, two wins from two as well, just like Liverpool. I think it's going to be a tough match, and one of them's going to lose for the first time this season. Even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I'd love to be biased and say, oh, Chelsea are going to win fucking 17-0 or something, but I want to be as realistic as I can. Chelsea, Champions League winners last season. They won the Super Cup against Villarreal. They won the first opening 2 games of the season. And, I mean, I don't know, because both teams are just as good as each other. I'm going to say they're both going to cancel each other out. So I'm going to put it a 0-0 draw between them both. Moving on to Burnley and Leeds United. Obviously, I'm going to have to go with a Leeds United win here because Burnley, they are starting to become a bit shy. No offence, Burnley fans. Leeds, they've had a rocky start to the season, but they are a force to be reckoned with in the Premier League, I reckon. Now, Burnley and Leeds is always it's classed as a local rivalry to Leeds because it's the distance between them. It's like a 45-minute train ride away. And that match always is entertaining. Based upon the style of play for both teams, I'm going to say that Burnley's going to struggle to get past Leeds, and I'm going to say it's going to be... I predict a 2-1 win for Leeds. Moving on to Tottenham versus Watford. I'm just going to say Tottenham going to win. I mean, Harry Kane has stated he's staying at Tottenham now, so he's going to bag a few goals for him. Watford, they're not really that poor, to be honest. They have beaten the big teams before. Tottenham on 6, they've won both games. Watford on 3 points, they've won 1 and lost 1. And I think that Watford, they're going to try go for a draw, if any, because they know they're not going to beat Tottenham, but they're going to have a crack at it. And I'm going to say a 1-1 draw between Watford and Tottenham. Now moving on to the last match, and this will probably be a big match for both Wolves and Man U. Wolves, obviously Nuno has gone to Tottenham to be Tottenham manager. I think that will be the downfall of Wolves, because he did guide them to the Premier League and he did guide them to playing European football and everything. But I mean, I think this season with the signing of Rafael Varane and sorry about that. With the signings that Man U have made, Man U are looking to once again topple Man City and be the team of the season, be the Premier League winners, win the Premier League and do something they've not been able to do since Alex Ferguson left. Now, a Premier League title will mean so much to Man United fans, and I think Man U is certainly going to be in contention for the Premier League this season. It is going to be rocky because, some of the players that they have, they're not really shining stars, but, I mean, this fixture's always been a good fixture for the last few seasons, and based upon the signings that Man U have made over the summer and the way they have, steamrolled through their opponents this season so far, I do predict that, a draw and a win for Man U obviously normally comes with a loss, but I don't see Man U losing against Wolves. Wolves, obviously, they've lost both their games, just like Arsenal has. I don't see Wolves beating Man U, but I predict Man U are going to win 3-1. So then, guys, that is it for this week's Premier League predictions. Good luck to all the Premier League teams out there, including Chelsea, and hopefully by Monday my predictions will be right. They could be dead wrong, but heyo, it's life, innit? So guys, until next time, stay safe, stay positive, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.